Welcome to the Black Student Society's Roundtable, where we're going to discuss the Black voices on campus. So I'll be asking them some questions, and then we will have dialogue, right, guys?
Yeah,
Great.
that's it.
Okay, so here's the first question. Who are some important Black leaders that you feel does not get highlighted or goes unrecognized?
Well, I can start off. One of my favorite people that I look up to is Fred Hampton. He's the leader of the Black Panther Party, and he was gunned down at 21. He was assassinated. But pretty much he was just trying to bring like wealth to the community, togetherness. Not so much of us being against each other. Us trying to build something that we can stand on as a people. So just I feel like it was we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
In our community and schools, anything like that. At 21 years old, getting assassinated is crazy. But for him to be 21 did so much. It's just a big influence for me.
So like, how does like his life like impact you now? Like, what do you think there are some things that you take from him that you do now?
Pretty much, well, I'm from Tulsa, so like Black Wall Street was there as well. So I kind of want to bring that aspect back. Not exactly Black Wall Street, but like pretty much, the togetherness that he, like an organization of people looking to just build up the Black community and do what we need to do. So
that's a good answer. Anybody else?
I really like Malcolm X. I mean, he's highlighted in school,
That's
and
true.
Everybody does know Malcolm X, but it's like he's kind of overlooked. He's a little overshadowed, I feel, by Martin Luther King. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, one more thing. Before she, going along with that, I don't necessarily think it's like an overshadowing. I think it's the fact that he is painted in a light of violence.
Yeah, he had a different approach.
Right.
I think it's because he was a separatist. He felt like Black people were fine on their own.
Right.
Yeah, so I feel like, not saying that, forget them all, but I think that's why they didn't approve, I guess, or want his message to the masses, That's what I think.
But they also tried to divide both of them when
Right.
they were friends. They became
Right.
friends as
Right,
well.
that is true.
And no one talks about that as well.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they were trying to even get to a violent, be violent, is when there was a oppression on them. Oppressive on them. So no one talks about that, and I feel like oftentimes they're like, wow, Martin Luther King, because he, civil disobedience and all of that, peaceful. So everybody just goes to that instead of, something happens to me, I'm gonna take action. So.
Yeah, but some people was actually all for Malcolm X because they didn't believe in the peaceful approach and being pushed around. They were like, okay, we're gonna fight back too. So he definitely had his leaders. But I agree with you. I feel he does get overlooked because of his approach versus Martin Luther King.
So with that being said, how could another race celebrate or contribute to Black History Month, in your opinion?
I believe education is the best form of celebration. Just knowing someone else's background, knowing someone else's history, their struggle, their hardship, and adversity. I think that it shows a lot of respect to another person to be like, wow, somebody cared, to know that about me. Somebody cared enough to learn, took the time out of their day, to learn and enlighten themselves and possibly even others about, Claudette Colvin or Fred Hampton or just something like that.
I feel like that's really important is diving deeper, kind of like what you're saying, just not just who's highlighted in your history textbook that you're learning in class, because that's not exactly telling you the truth, if we're going to be honest anyway.
Very honest.
So we're just to dive deeper and to learn these people, these unhighlighted people. It's just, that's a big part of education.
I agree. Just education. That's a big thing for me.
I think even more so us, it's not just Black History Month, it's this is America's history,
That is
and
true.
so
Exactly.
willing to study about these things in every month.
Exactly.
It's also
not
important
just
as well.
for sure. Not just designated for a month. You can
Mm-hmm.
always open a book, look up something to figure out what is what. You shouldn't just do it for the month.
I really like how you said that. It's not just Black history. That's your history too. If you live on the soil, that's your history. That's the history of this country. That's what it was built on, the foundation of it. So if you can't just pick and choose what you want to learn, what you
Black
don't.
History Month. Who
Yeah.
made the first? No.
No,
Let's keep it going. Let's learn more.
Okay, so was it a complete culture shock coming on this campus, in your opinion, or did it feel like home to you?
That's me.
Anybody else?
Neither. I mean, it wasn't like a shock, but or just like being chilling. Yeah, like I was never like, oh my god, they're all so white. Like I was like, okay, cool. But like I've always like I mind my own business. I would say our shock was like I haven't been asked like, hey, what are you a lot. Like here,
Yeah.
like
What
are you? I'm like human. You? Like it happened a lot my first year here. Like, hey, like James, like what are you? Like I'm human.
I can imagine that happening.
Yeah.
Like after you talk.
I would say human. I know, so like what are you though? Human.
Right.
Like what are you? Hey, bro.
Still
Yeah. Still human. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, bro.
Yeah. So I think other than that, it wasn't like a shock to me. So yeah.
I could say it was a culture shock. I kind of knew what to expect though coming in. I kind of knew what to expect, so I was just to myself. I came from a JUCO to a junior college, so the leap was it was really different. So yeah, but I mean for the most part it's been good. I mean just trying to adjust. Like she said, it's just like it's just different. It's just coming from my city as well. Just people I grew up with. I don't really have too many people that act the same here. But I mean, I'm learning to adapt. So I mean, you just gotta adapt to your situations, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all are. Like, I couldn't imagine me here right now or as involved as I am because it's like you just adjust and you just you just take it and like you make the best out of it. Like I was one of the ones, chilling, knocked out in chapel, headphones in, on my own, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I felt like, I didn't really feel invited. I didn't really like feel welcome, but it's like I just, like a turn of like a little bit of unfortunate events like this year kind of brought me to be more involved, and now I'm figuring out my niche and I'm actually a lot more happy here and I'm getting like way more comfortable than I ever was. So I agree with just adjusting.
That's just like, that's beautiful to me, being your friend and like you and Hope's friend, especially like just watching y'all come out of that in a way and seeing how uncomfortable y'all have been, as uncomfortable as y'all have been in the past. And it's just like, I got here when y'all got here, and it's just like, just watching that and watching y'all open up like that and like y'all taking on like the leadership that you, like the roles that you play right now. It's just crazy. And it's just, I just love watching that. I just love y'all have grown, even if y'all don't see it too much, like y'all have seen that. Oh, like I've seen it. I see it. No,
I'm glad.
I'm just saying that. Like, but this is the thing, and that's the thing is that y'all inspire that in me. Y'all inspire that in people around you and everybody involved in anything that y'all are taking part in.
Yeah.
So it's just
I'm glad that you feel that way.
That's y'all's story is powerful. Okay. I tell you that. I
appreciate that, Kai. I really do.
I appreciate you.
I was like, actually, I'm gonna just pack up.
I know. I really
me
do.
too.
I've heard
Honestly,
you go on about
no.
this. I've heard
you. Me
I'm
too.
like,
I didn't think I was gonna be back next year, and I was looking for schools like
Right.
last semester. But the roles that I've took on,
I think we can figure it out.
I just feel so happy, like with the Black Student Society, and just trying to push so hard for like diversity and inclusion. And I feel like I remember Dee told me something one time. She said, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Something like when God wants you somewhere, you have to make a sacrifice. So you're sacrificing your happiness and your comfort. And from that, I felt like my discomfort made me grow so much, and I'm happy with that.
Right.
That's so like, it's so interesting, like just for me, like being mixed and seeing the discomfort that like it's like one half of me is causing the other, and it's just really weird to see that. But it's like really, it makes me happy seeing that y'all are like bridge builders and trying to be actively building a bridge over some of that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's slow coming, and it's all big changes. So it's just, you know, eventually, it's, you know, we're gonna get in there.
Eventually, we're gonna get it.
Exactly.
Right.
So like, with that being said, if you see a student that was like you, who didn't feel like at home, like what would you do to make it better for them now? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Anything that I could.
And be them like, I was just like you. I'm telling, I swear.
Right.
But you just, and just tell them my testimony and how I felt when I first got here and all the things, and it's literally what you make it. You know what I mean? So so like James said, just be a friend, but also share your testimony and share where you're at, because, you know, I feel like that's the reason why we go through things sometimes, because, you know, God knows that it's gonna be people who go through like similar things that you go through. So he has to find somebody who's gone through that to help others go through that as well. So I feel like that's important, and I feel like that's what you have to do. You should be a friend.
I think that's something our people need to do more too. 'Cause I feel like we don't always lend a helping hand.
We don't.
Like we'll just look at somebody like, well,
sometimes.
that ain't me. So
Right. So
if I had to get out the mud, you gotta do it too.
Right.
We gotta start lifting each other up more.
Right. And I feel like the easy thing to do is to leave.
Yeah.
That's very easy.
Like,
That's super easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
right.
I pack my things.
You know, like it's easier to leave. But oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, come back. No, but the strong thing to do is stay. Like if God has called you to it, like He will bring you through that. So to stay and to make your mark, so that the people that come after you won't have to like deal with what you went through. You know, I came back for that reason. All right. Okay, next question. Here we go. So SNU has recently created cultural affinity groups through the Black Student Society, Hispanic Student Society, and International Student Society. It is so important for SNU to have these affinity groups, and we value them. But we also know we don't want to self-isolate. How do you engage with the greater SNU community to prevent that isolation?
Personally, I think we can only do so much as a student affinity group. I feel like there has to be some type of meet me halfway type thing. You know, we could add, you know, your type of music to the playlist, your type of games to the game night. We could do so much for you. But if you're not coming, you're not playing those games, you're not listening to that music, how can we meet you halfway?
Yeah.
You know, we can't bring you. You know, we can't go to your dorm. Let's roll. You know, you gotta be like, oh, okay. You know, I'm gonna check it out. I want to go. You know, it's kind of hard not to isolate because, once again, comfort. You know, especially being where we are and how it is structured. I definitely do seek comfort in like Deja and Kaya, my friends. And then when I met Wu, I was like, oh. You know,
No, I'm your friend too.
What?
Yes, you are my friend. What are you talking about?
What is?
No, like we're solid.
Oh,
I think we're all.
You're all her friends. You're all her
James,
friends.
I was on my way.
Continue.
I think she was making her way down.
Yes, and when I was at lead retreat and I saw Udo, and
Continue.
I was very happy. Because
Continue.
honestly, besides, you know, me, James, and Ebony, I don't really think anyone else was, you know, there. I think it was just that.
Nobody was wrong.
Okay, but this is another thing that I want to add to that, alongside of what you're saying. Also, the people in the Black community, I'm challenging them to also come to the things that are done in the affinity group.
Yeah.
Because the isolation also comes from the same people in that community.
Yes.
Everything. Black-owned businesses and work like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, because if we're not on one accord, how are we gonna get anybody else?
That's
to,
true.
To join?
But I never thought. I feel like different societies. I feel like it's a good thing, especially at a PWI, predominantly white institution. You know, somewhere where we can feel comfortable and, like, you know what I'm saying, feel like we can talk or say what we want to say and not, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a beautiful thing to have like different societies, because I remember one time we were talking about, you know what I'm saying, we're a guest in their home. So it's like having our own little home, or this is not, I feel like it's a good thing. But whenever, you know, we have events, I've been trying to do this thing where I make it like in like a not say public, but like a public area. Like our last event was in the library, and it was in hopes that it would be people in the library, so even if they didn't intend on coming, they could still hear. Because I never wanted to hide off like, oh, this is just us by ourselves, y'all. Come on, let's go in this corner. I go out of my way, like trying to invite, you know, friends that don't look like me and try to make them feel welcome. And I think I was even telling some of my peers in the group, like, you know, what can I do? Like, what can I say to make them feel welcome? Is it the black in the name? Is it, you know what I'm saying, to make them feel like it's just for black? Because I never wanted a separation. Like, I be one, like, all people to come.
Absolutely.
Like, even with the music for our 90s party, I was trying to make sure I sent it to the playlist of like some of my other friends, like, what do you think some songs that you like? You know, literally to different people. And I don't know, they were just kind of cool with it, you know, still didn't come. And I'm not upset that they didn't come, but I just try to make sure they feel comfortable with like different music and stuff like that. You remember, Hope, we were going through that playlist. So I don't think that we're trying to like exclude ourselves or just kind of be like off.
You know, I think like the way to prevent isolation is relationship. If you build relationships with people and you're going out of your way, they're like, oh, I know Deja. I'm gonna come because of Deja. Sometimes it's not even the event. It's just like
the person,
the affiliation they have with you. So I feel like that is the main thing and a way to prevent that. I mean, that helps at least.
I think like something we could do, just like I mean, like with the Hispanic group and the international group, like maybe all do an event together.
Yeah,
Show something like
That's
that.
a great idea.
That is a good idea.
So just show
Any of them?
unity.
How can we continue celebrating what it means to be an intercultural community, James?
So I think not having assumptions of how someone should act based on their skin tone. I say this because my first like few years here, people will see me and think tall black dude, so I think like love sports, he's rude. But then like they meet me and like, oh, I think you like be nice, or I think you like, I think that we would be friends. So I think it's like not assuming like, oh, this is your race, so this is how you act, so I'm good. Right. So I think that's huge.
That's good. So just continuing to be like open-minded. You know what I'm saying?
Because not everyone who's black acts the same. Yeah. Not everyone who's
Exactly.
white acts the same.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of touch on that too. Like I think we gotta accept the fact that we are different.
Yeah.
Like
That's good too.
we are different.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow up different. It's it's just what it is. It's just what it is. But I think once we accept that and then try to like understand those differences instead of trying to act like we all the same. Like we're not all the same. Like every culture is different. So I feel like people feel bad saying that. I don't know. I don't know if they feel bad saying that.
Honestly, that's where some of that division comes from.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
amongst ourselves, like we want to all fit into one, just categorize it. So that's like a stereotype in itself that you're creating amongst the whole group of people. You can't do that.
No,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Exactly.
And can we dead this color blindness? That's not a thing.
I don't see
Color blindness is a condition with the eyes. You see multiple colors. You know.
Right.
Color
But color blindness is not a thing.
Yeah, culture. I say culture is a thing, not color blindness. Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Color, not culture.
Right. That's how we can celebrate.
So could you go into detail with that? Like, what
Okay,
you
so
said?
like oftentimes people will say, you know, I don't see color or I'm colorblind to, you know, you, meaning that like they accept you, all this type of stuff. But really, colorblindness is not that. Like I want you to see me.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I am a black person, I am a black woman, but that's not all that I am, you know? So
Very true.
like he was saying, if we would just celebrate our differences,
Yeah.
then I would treat you the way that you need to be treated. You know? And sometimes that's just like to hide the racism that's already on the inside. You
Exactly.
know? But we all, let's be honest, we all have prejudices and things that are ingrained, and we have to check those on a daily.
For sure, all the
All of
time.
that. Right.
Yeah, systematically
It's a
ingrained.
constant.
So.
It's a constant.
To our last question, in what ways is SNU heading in the right direction in terms of diversity and inclusion?
I haven't. Okay, so as far as I've been here, I just love that they have these ILOs. Like to me, that is really big to me, and I love that. And I'm
What is
gonna
that? I'm sorry.
intercultural learning
Oh,
opportunities.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like oh my gosh, and they just really like broadened my mind, like for women's history, Black history. They even have a disability, right? And I went to some of those, and it's crazy, it's amazing, and I love that. And I also love how even for the Martin Luther King discussion here recently, they offered a Christian formation credit. You know what I'm saying? So even though it gives them that incentive, at least they came to get that, but at least they're gonna come to hear different things. You know what I'm saying? So them reaching out, and even I'm talking with Dr. Lena and things like that, trying to figure out how we can get more people at these events, because they talk about a lot of important things, like a lot. So extra credit, Christian formation. I think that we're definitely heading in the right direction. We have ways to go, but I feel like we're definitely there. We're heading there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Anybody else?
With them making all these new rules, I don't know what Lena's like role is like called. Do y'all know like role title is?
Lena?
VP for like intercultural.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, so I think with her making her role, I'm making my role, like it's like small steps, like in the right way. So yeah. I think me being on SGA, I show people of color, hey, you can be on this too.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah, that's how I felt like with James. Like I wasn't sure about that, but then it's like I wanted to start getting more involved, you know, past the Black Student Society. Like, how can I reach more people? You know, where else can I go?
Yeah.
So,
I think another thing they do well is that just like even allowing us to have something like this.
Yeah.
I was a former student here. We never had that. So we move in the right direction. Okay. Right, move in the right direction.
And I'll say,
At the Martin Luther King talk, the Reverend spoke on being in a time of like history, kind of repeating itself in a way, and how we're kind of back in a way where we're facing some of the challenges that our ancestors, the people that came before us that paved the way, we're kind of in a position where they are. So I feel like in a way, one of these things that they're doing right is like, we're here, us, this generation, and the things that we can do to move forward, because whether or not we thought we were going to be here, we're here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We were drawn here somehow. Something about this campus, something somehow, some way. God did a work. We're all in this room. We're all in this place right now.
Yeah.
And there's so much moving forward and growth that this generation is sparking, like right now, just being in this room right now.
Yeah.
So it's just.
So with that being said, that's all we have left. But thank you for joining us on, what is it, the Roundtable for the Black Student?
Roundtable.
For the Black Student Society.
Black Student Society Roundtable.
Right.